I'm Larry. Larry Volz. I'm a hypnotist. This is Jordan. Jordan has done hypnosis with me. I've been teaching him self-hypnosis for self-improvement, helping a little bit with stress and anxiety. And he's just done a ketamine experience. And one of the interesting things we're learning, and we're getting more and more research coming out on it, is how ketamine and hypnosis tend to work really well together. Our viewers, the billions of people who are going to watch. Well, what was your experience like about maybe hypnosis, first of all, and then ketamine, and then how the experience of hypnosis afterwards was, and what you learned and experienced?
The hypnosis definitely is great. You get a lot of help with the suggestions are always great. It's great to have one-on-one hypnosis. I was doing some YouTube hypnosis, which is okay. You know what I mean? It's not bad.
Yeah.
But this one-on-one and more tailored to each individual is way more helpful, first of all. Secondly, afterwards, definitely the suggestions, you're just in a much more positive vibe. You believe it. Sometimes you'll be hearing these suggestions and your mind will get negative because you naturally veer towards the negative. Your mind just naturally is programmed to do that, not all the time, but a lot of our thoughts are often negative, even when you don't really realize it. So I find that hypnosis, definitely, this is 2 days after, so this is like an integration, our latest hypnosis session. You just take to it so much. It's more natural. You focus more. You're not so caught up in your thoughts. You just are able to believe it a lot more, and that is the key to hypnosis too, right?
Would you like to, or are you comfortable talking about some insights that you have within the ketamine?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like personal insights. Yeah, so some insights that I learned. So years ago, I had my own trauma at a young age. My brother passed away when I was only 13. And all these years later, you process in your own way, and I never really processed it well, I would say. It kind of all came to me later on in life. It all hit me at once. Started, when you have downtime and stuff, and you're not just constantly moving, your mind tends to, play things back. And so there were connections that we made during the session that I never thought in a million years were even, were possible. So, for instance, there was a situation where my mind made a link to a memory that I had where I had misremembered something completely for years, and I didn't even know that I had misremembered it. And it contributed to my feeling of guilt in certain situations. And when I finally unraveled that, you're sitting there in the session and it's like, whoa, where did that come from? You know what I mean? You're sitting there and it's like something just clicks. When my brother had passed, I had basically come down the stairs, excited to play a video game that he had actually bought me the day before. So all these years, I never really thought about it, but I was bummed because here I am hearing this commotion downstairs, and I'm thinking, oh, great, I don't get to play my video game. So my mind had jumbled that into a way, in a sense that I felt this guilt. Like, here I am worrying about a video game when my brother is passed. What a insensitive human being. But I didn't even know at the time of that thought that was even, you know what I mean? I didn't even know how could I possibly have known? But somehow my brain had remembered it. And during this trip, it just resolved, which was really fantastic because that's something I didn't even know I had an issue with, to be honest. And that carried on through life.
Yeah.
In a certain way, all these years, right? This guilt of, oh, something must be wrong with me that's the first thing that came to my mind, right? But
right.
When it finally clicked, it's like, oh wow, this is fantastic.
How similar did it feel to hypnosis?
It's definitely similar. It just feels deeper. You're more connected with your subconscious, and you're more freely giving out information, almost like not inebriated, but just like no filter, almost like you don't have the filter up, you don't have your guards up.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're uninhibited. Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool. Now we did, I've been teaching you self-hypnosis, right? Some different, we'll call it neurolinguistics, those techniques, they call self-hypnosis and neurolinguistics. Now, how do you feel about those, like, as a way to help integrate it and carry forward? And how do you feel like that's worked together with?
I think it's huge. Like I honestly think like ketamine on its own is obviously great, but I think ketamine and hypnosis and this neural integration, like what you're talking about with giving the tools afterwards, is going to be insanely beneficial. 100%. There's no doubt in my mind. In fact, that's even without, like you had just found out today, that this wasn't even prearranged. It just happened by fate almost, that I had told you that I had undergone this therapy on the weekend.
Right.
So I just innately knew, I was like, you know what, I guarantee you that hypnosis would be amazing after this. So I had listened to our previous tapes, like pretty much the same day that I came home, because I don't know, I had that feel. I just knew that it's going to work. It's going to work way better. It's going to benefit me more. I'm more receptive. I'm more open. So I'm going to cram in as much here as possible.
Well, I'm so glad you found that, and I had the honor to be part of that experience. It's been really,
yeah.
You've been a great client. All the stuff we did before, I said before, you took like a duck to water. I mean, we got good at the self-hypnosis real quickly.
Which is funny because I didn't think I would. I didn't think, I had all this, doubt. And that's the other thing about believing. Like, you just have to kind of trust and just let go in general. And my biggest thing is letting go of things, like lately, especially the last few months. Letting go and just letting the process work is the biggest hurdle I think a lot of people have to kind of get over, right? Because I'm an overthinker by nature. So which during the session was fantastic because I didn't overthink anything. It was it just rolls out, and then it literally is within the window of neuroplasticity too, so it couldn't have worked out any better. Yeah, it's definitely 7 days for sure, where your brain is definitely more open to suggestion and change, really, right? So this is why this week is definitely big for me to, new routines, try new things, and break out of that cycle, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. And you did well before, the sessions we did before. But I could see, when you do hypnosis for people all the time, you watch the breathing, and you watch your facial expressions. You can tell when somebody's going into a trance, and you get a sense of deep, and just because the way their face becomes so calm, their breathing slows down so much, and you went down like a rock.
Yeah.
So
and
fast.
I feel like before, it took me quite a bit longer.
Yeah.
Depending on the day too, right? So depending if I had a stressful day, sometimes it takes me a little longer to unwind, right? So, no, I definitely today was, and the suggestions today, especially, were perfectly tailored. That's why the tailored hypnosis is so much better than just like a YouTube hypnosis, right? Because it's just generic, right? Generic affirmations almost. So,
boy, what an exciting time to be alive that we can do this.
Oh, I know.
And even on Zoom. I mean, you're in Canada.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
To the world,
Yeah.
Wow, how cool. All right. Well, Jordan, anything else you want to share with anybody that might be watching?
Yeah. You know what? If you're hesitant, I mean, you know what you are willing to do or not. But I would say that if you are even thinking remotely that you need that, like, don't hesitate, at least to inquire about it, because like it's definitely life-changing. Because at the end of the day, I was in a spot where I was just super, super negative, super, like, down on my anxiety, like, just, which made me depressed almost, right? That, for me, my main issue is anxiety, overthinking and worry. I have a 2.5-year-old son, who, it's just kind of changed my life, right? Like, so my whole anxiety, which I had before, is when it goes from here to here, right? So, I think if you're considering it, don't wait either. Like, I got right on it kind of after a couple months, going, man, this is something's just not right. I'm not myself. I'm, getting angry and bitter a lot quicker, more touchy. this is a treatment that it's not like, oh, you got to take something every day. This is actually getting to the root of the cause, not just symptoms, right? You're actually healing from trauma, especially coupled with hypnosis. That's like, it should almost, to me, you almost should have that as a mainstay, to be honest. You should, because afterward, it's one thing for the drug to do its job. It's another to actually work on the causes afterward, because you might as well, you might as well take advantage of the situation, right? You might as well, when any other time are you going to be so receptive to change is directly after the session, right?
Thank you for all that. And I think about this, and I think it's like, I've always believed in, I love chiropractic and I love yoga, and I think they go real beautifully together, because chiropractic is about getting your joints back in line.
Yeah.
But if you strengthen the muscles around them, they go right back.
Yeah.
Whereas if you use the yoga, so I kind of feel like this is kind of the same way. Like, you
exactly
the epiphanies, but now you've got some self-hypnosis you can use to maintain.
Yes.
And neuroplasticity is, it's like an old habit or an old pattern is like a path that you've walked over and over and over again. You've worn the tracks down, right?
Yep.
In order to build a new path, repetition matters. You want to build, you want to wear it in the grass over here and not go over here. So you have to jump start by having the hypnosis too. I feel like they go together, and I appreciate the fact that you validate that thought.
Yeah.
So it's such an exciting time. I do want to mention, everybody's got to check their laws,
Yes.
Within, in Virginia, in the United States, and, to do ketamine, you need to work with a medical doctor here, And what I do is I teach self-hypnosis for self-improvement, and it's perfect for afterwards, but it's also good to have a psychotherapist or a psychologist as well, for an integration session there, and then some training with me. That kind of thing is, I think, a perfect blend. It sounds like, how cool. All right, Jordan, man, thank you so much.
No problem.
Really appreciate you sharing this with me and the rest of the people here, and maybe we'll be able to help a lot of people. We'll see.
Absolutely. That'd be great.